grab a chair. Or I could just pretend to sit, but I'm not that would fail.
Why do you go chair?
Find the ocean, but they found it. Now we're gonna have a ton of chairs. Now watch how stand. Hi guys, are you having a good time at Sac-Anime? Yeah! That's so awesome. Thank you so much for coming. And it's the morning. Bravissimo. And it's hot in here. One day. So, how many guys have heard my panels before? Anybody? A couple people? So you know I talk sort of non-stop, right? But, so do you mind if I go through the same sort of like plan just until Steve gets here? So, how I became the voice of the voice of Mario. So, I'm like, thank you very much. I'm just, you know, a normal actor, doing what normal actors do. I mean, I spent years in the theater and then started doing, I left the theater and started doing, really? Okay. Hello. Is that better like that or better? Yes. Oh, it is? Okay, like that. Because I could hear myself fine. So, you know, I had left college because I wasn't thrilled with the prospect of you know, taking classes from professors I couldn't take from. There was a professor I really wanted to take my classes from, and I couldn't get him for a single class, so I said, I'll forget it, I quit. You know, but I wasn't really quitting, I was just leaving. I was just being a brat, see? But then a friend of mine said, come and take an acting class from me. And I said, there's no way I could ever take an acting class from anybody, because I couldn't possibly stand up in front of people without shaking and being terrified that I was about to die. You know, I was chronically shy, you know? And I'm still kind of shy and have a little private life, you know, quiet little world. But you know, it's like with time you learn how to come out of that sort of like shell, as it were. And it's so funny because, you know, I have no idea why I took that acting class. I knew there was no way I would ever take an acting class. And somehow he talked me into going, and I went, and it was really for the food, because there was the cafeteria right there with student chefs. And as you can tell, I like my food, you know? And so there I was doing that, and I took the class, and then you have to do a monologue, and I was like, oh my gosh, that is like, no, I don't mind watching you talk about acting. I don't want to do it, you know? And you know, so we had to learn a monologue, and it was from the Spoon River Anthology, which is this anthology, like, it's perfect for actors because it's way over the top, you know. I died a terrible death, you know, and because everybody's dead, you know. And there's not a lot of comedy in people being dead, but it's a good emotional stretch for young actors to, like, you know, oh, I'm dead, you know. I guess. But, you know, so I watched everybody else do their monologue, and I was sitting there, and I was shaking more and more as we went along, until there was nobody left, and I had to get up. I had to do my monologue, and I'm like, I get up there, and I'm, you know, my name is Joe. I died a horrible fiery death in the fire, blah, blah, you know. It's like, you know, whoa, and I get up there, and I start shaking, you know. And I'm like, my right knee is shaking like that. I'm convinced I'm going like that. I'm like, oh my gosh, I put my weight on that one. And then I put, you know, that one. So I was like, oh my gosh, all right, so separate your legs, spread them apart, and then you'll be fine. And I do that, and then they're both going like this, you know? And I'm convinced that what you're hearing is, oh, I died a horrible, you know? And of course, I finished the monologue, and people go, you know, oh, wow, that was great. You're the only one of us that wasn't nervous. How'd you do it? You know? And I'm like, wait a minute, you know, I was terrified, you know? So anyway, ladies and gentlemen, oh, okay, I'm gonna keep going for a minute. I'm gonna finish my story. It's about 25 minutes long. I don't really ever stop talking. Let me introduce you to the incomparable Steve Blum. He's just Would you prefer to stand or sit? Okay, we'll sit. Then we'll sit. I'll sit too. Well, no, I was just telling. So, okay, how I got the voice of Mario. I'll do my story really fast, okay?
Go for it, yeah.
I crashed an audition. I completely wasn't invited. I'm on the beach, watching the sun, reading my book, doing my crossword puzzles, and my phone rang. I've always believed in getting technology early so you can waste your money on it, you know? and then upgrading. So I'm on and my friend calls me and says, you gotta come to this audition. It's for a trade show in Las Vegas. And I'm like, there's absolutely no way I would ever crash an audition. I'm a professional actor. What's the address? I have no idea why, but I went and I walk in, of course I'm late, and I walk in the door as the camera and the producer are walking out the door. And I said, hi, can I please read for this? And they're like, oh, all right, come on in. We'll set the camera up. You're an Italian plumber from Brooklyn, right? So you're a video game character, so make up an accent, make up a voice, make up a video game, and just start talking. And whenever you stop talking, that's your audition. So do whatever you want. I'm thinking, hey, how you doing? I'm under your sink. Don't bother me here. Hey, what's the matter with you? I thought, I don't want to do something like that for hours talking to kids. Then he goes, well, you're going to have these contacts glued to your face. And when you speak, your mouth and movement will roll these roller balls. It'll translate through a supercomputer, and it will capture the motion through roller balls of the face, and then the character will say, hello, I'm Mario, and they go, hello, my name is Mario, and this should be the same thing. Probably would say the same thing that I would say, though, right? It's early in the morning. Hello, I'm Mario. Hello, my name is Mario. Whoops. Well, it was something like that. And he goes, but I have no idea whether it's going to work or not, and if it doesn't work, you're going to be on camera or something. You'll talk all day long, so start talking whenever you're done. That's your audition. And I, thinking about it, plumbing accent, and I luckily played Taming of the Shrew, Gremio, the nice old Italian guy, talking like this. And I thought, well, maybe I'll do something nice and fun like that to start, but I don't know anything about video games. Nothing about video games. I had played Pong, and Space Invaders, and waka 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 waka. Yeah, see? And what's the other one? Oh, yeah. Yeah, wait. That's it. Yeah. So I don't know what I'm going to talk about, but he sort of goes, but he kind of challenged me to be a brat. It's like, oh, talk as long as you want, then when you run out of things to say. And as you can tell, that doesn't really happen. and so I'm trying to think, well, I'll just talk about things, and all of a sudden I hear action. I go, hello, I'm Mario. Okie dokie, let's make a pizza pie together. You go get some sausage, I'm going to get some spaghetti. We put spaghetti in the pizza, and we put the sausage in the pizza, and then I chase with the pizza. If I catch you the pizza, you gotta eat the pizza, then make a pizza and chase me with the pizza. Then we're gonna make a spaghetti meatball. And I chase you with the spaghetti meatball, and when I get to the spaghetti meatball, you gotta eat the spaghetti meatball. Then you gotta make a spaghetti, and you gotta chase me with, and I'm sitting there going, okay, he's bound to say, please shut up. Any second here, except he let me go on. And so I started thinking, okay, all right, okay. So I waited until I heard, stop talking, please. Cut. There's no more tape. There's 35 minutes. And he goes, oh, we'll be in touch, thank you. And I'm like, okay, there's the kiss of death. There's the door, goodbye, And so I left and I went back to the beach and I watched the sunset. Pikachu! He called Nintendo and said, I've got our Mario, I found him. And then that was 23 years ago. 24 years ago, of absolute fun and joy for me, doing hundreds of video games and doing it's been a dream working with Nintendo. I love my job doing the games, the advertising, the PR, and I particularly love coming to cons like this because you guys are so amazing, and it's such a joy to be here. So that's my way of saying, thanks for coming. We're gonna sit down. You can turn this one off then, and I'll just roll it around the floor. Oh, no, I'll give it to the Spam Man. Spam has something to say. Oh, you want to line him up for questions?
Sure.
Sure.
Yeah.
But you don't have to right away, but yeah, because now I want to hear, Steve, how did you become an actor?
Well, first of all, this I'm having like a little fanboy moment here, because like all of you guys, I grew up playing these games. man, listening to his voice. Unbelievable. And what a wonderful, nice, kind human being he is, too. I had a chance to sit with him the last couple nights, and the funny thing is that he's the one who said that I was going to have to keep him awake this morning.
I was sleepy last
Oh
night.
my God, you are. I hope. Oh my. I can't. I have no words. I ran out of words yesterday, actually. 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I'm.
And there goes the microphone. You have mine.
Was that me? Yeah, there we go. Oh, they're just playing with me back there. See, he was listening to what I said, and he ran out of words for me. Anyway, see, that's how good this crew is. Have you guys thanked your staff, by the way? Yes, before we go any further, make sure that you thank a staff member because they're the reason that we all have such a great time here. I know all of you now. This is so amazing. I think I've met all of you. For those of you who I have not met, I'm Steve Blum. I'm a voice actor from LA, and I've been doing this for about 20 some odd years. And I started accidentally. I thought I was going to be a musician. I was playing in an R&B band during the 80s, and I was not that great of a musician, and we weren't that great of a band, but I was having a great time, and I didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up. So I had a day job, like every other entertainer. And I got a job working in a mailroom for a small film company called Empire Entertainment. And we made Reanimator, if you guys have ever seen that movie. And Ghoulies and the Puppet Master movies, ultimately, and tons of really fun, crazy movies. And so I started in the mailroom at this place, and I was the only non-actor in the entire building, I think. And the head of the mailroom, this guy named Vic Garcia, was casting a Japanimation thing on the weekend called The Guyver. And I was the deepest voice in the mailroom, and he needed a monster sound. And so he goes, "Can you do a monster?" And I went, and he went, "Okay, come on in." So they brought me in. They fed me free breakfast and lunch, which is all I needed to secure that job. And I ended up being able to match the time codes. In those days, we didn't even have the electronic beeps that they have now. For those of you who are in voiceover, now it's all digitized. You hear a rhythmic 3 beeps, and then you start talking, and you know that you're going to hit it right on the lip flaps. Back then, there's a running time code that's going super fast, and that was even wrong. So basically, I had a director behind me tapping me on the shoulder when it was time to start speaking. But because of the music training and because language is rhythmic, I was able to hit all the lip flaps the first time, and they were kind of surprised by that, in monster voices. So I worked that session. They ended up giving me the role, the main bad guy in the series. And I worked 26 episodes. They kept hiring me for more series, and I thought it was just a fluke. And I kept my day job. I still stayed at that film company for 14 years. Became head of marketing while I was doing anime on the side, until I booked a 7-Eleven gig and quit my job. And then the union went on strike, and I was out of work for a year. So for those of you aspiring voice actors, make sure that you have a backup plan, especially in the early days. So now that I'm almost paid off for that time in my life, to my credit cards, I've been in the business. They just kept hiring me. I don't know why, but thank God they did. And at this point, I've done over 300 video games, and I've worked on a lot of Marvel things. I've been the voice of Wolverine for the last 8 some odd years. Starscream for Transformers Prime, and Green Goblin for Spider-Man. Lots of really, really fun stuff. And then, of course, you guys would know me from Cowboy Bebop and from Toonami and things like that. Did any of you stay up all night and watch Toonami? Yeah? No, I went to bed. I was partying with these guys for a while, and then I went to bed. But how'd you guys like Space Dandy?
It was amazing.
Yeah? I heard it's pretty fun. Yeah, okay, cool. So anyway, that's me in a nutshell. And do you want to open it up to questions?
Sure.
Yeah!
You guys want to ask questions?
Yeah!
If you have a
I
question,
love the. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. I love seeing people in costume. It's just so cool. And there's an article in the paper this morning about Sac-Anime that there's like 25% more people here than just a year ago. So it's growing. It's just great.
The rest of them are still asleep, apparently. Thank you guys for being the hardy souls getting up early. This is tough to do on a Sunday morning after a rave, right? Did you guys stay up late last night? Yeah?
I thought everyone would be in bed at 9 when we were.
You mean you and me together?
No, not together. I mean in bed sleeping with my cup of milk.
That's so nice. Hey.
That's very
Very good. You have job security, dude. Don't even worry.
Get your hair a little more gray. I mean, silver. Silver hair, not gray.
We
Yes.
have. Oh, okay.
Hi, sorry. Yes. Hi.
Good morning.
Hello, you two. I never thought the two of you would ever be at the same room, which is like freaking awesome. So, and I have a question. How do you think a conversation would go between Wolverine and Mario?
Wow.
Hello, Wolfie. How are you today?
I'm sorry. Who are you?
Mario. Want to make a pizza?
Yeah, actually, I'm kind of hungry. Tell you what, pal, I'll slice it for you. We'll only have 3 slices at a time. Pizza strips.
I'd just first like to say that it's awesome to see two of the kings of my childhood sitting together. I'd also like to say that you are, Mr. Blum, you are a scholar and a saint for staying longer than, for the autograph session yesterday.
Oh, it's my pleasure. And by the way, my son is Mr. Bloom. I'm just Steve. He's a teacher, so everybody has to call him Mr.
Oh my
Bloom.
goodness.
Yeah.
How old is he?
He's 25. Yeah, he's a French teacher, high school French teacher.
Wow, how wonderful.
Amazing kid.
My question is, have you ever looked back at, does it still feel surreal to know, like how far you've come and to know that you have such a large and still growing fan base?
It's surreal sitting here with this guy right now. I mean, I'm telling you, I mean, when you hear a voice, you know, when you're a kid, or I wasn't a kid, actually, I was older, I'm older. But
Thank you for that.
But when you
I'll take any gift I can.
But when you grow up hearing these voices and you know, being in awe of these people who are doing these things that just seem like magic to you, when you get to sit with them and you get to see that they're actually real people with real lives and that they're nice, I mean, besides the fact that it's surreal, it's one of the most awesome experiences you can imagine. And now all these people that I've been watching and listening to my whole life are my friends, and I'm working with them in the studio. And that is a very surreal thing. I mean, working with guys like Stan Lee, for example. I mean, you know, this guy created Spider-Man, and I'm actually working with him in the booth, and he's still doing voice work in his 90s. That is a surreal experience. Or Frank Welker, you know, is the voice of every animal and every Disney thing you've ever seen. And Scooby-Doo and Freddy, and then working with him next to him, and he's doing Megatron right in front of you, and Peter Cullen is Optimus Prime. That is a very surreal experience. I have more fanboy moments when I'm not at the mic than I am, you know, in a situation like this. I sit there in the back of the room giggling like a schoolgirl. It's amazing. It's just amazing. And I love hearing the talent that my fellow actors bring. That to me is the show. I would rather sit in the room and watch these guys live than to actually watch my own stuff once it's produced. It's so much fun, amazing.
Yeah, it's a magical experience doing that work.
Yeah.
Really fun.
Awesome, thanks.
Thank you.